For online admission in these programs, visit school site and also the Samarth online education portal of IGNOU. So please join these programs and fulfill your educational aspiration.
Welcome viewers. We will be discussing today topic is consumer protection in cyberspace. You may be our students registered for MSc Information Security program, or you may be planning to register for this particular program because our registration process is still going on. आप सभी व्यूअर्स का हार्दिक अभिनंदन। आज हम चर्चा कर रहे हैं कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन इन साइबर स्पेस। आप हमारे ऑलरेडी रजिस्टर्ड विद्यार्थी हैं एमएससी इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी प्रोग्राम में, और आप प्लान कर रहे हैं इस एडमिशन्स लेने के लिए प्रोग्राम के लिए जो अभी प्रोसेस में है। ये एक वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक जो है आज हमने चुना है आप सबके लिए, क्योंकि व्यूअर्स जो रजिस्टर हैं उनके लिए तो इम्पोर्टेंट है। दोज हु आर प्लानिंग टू स्टिल रजिस्टर्ड उनके लिए भी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज दिस टॉपिक इज़ वेरी हॉट, बिकॉज everybody discussing the protections of this consumer protections in particularly in cyberspace is concerned because of issues regarding digital arrest is coming up frequently, and Government of India is advising to from time to time to every citizen of India. So therefore this content and topic discussions becomes very important. जैसे कि अभी ब्रीफ किया है कि this program consists of MSc Information System program which has been giving 32 credits in the first years and 64 credits for the second year, put together total 64 credits. This is the first course, 34 MSc. We are discussing e-commerce and cyberspace, and this topic belongs to the course MSc 034. This course consists of two blocks. Blocks 1 e-commerce and blocks 2 is intellectual property protections and cyberspace. Our focus for discussion will be on today, that is our block 1, and topic is our consumer protection in cyberspace, that is unit 3 of this block 1. Why we are discussing this topic today, as I just briefed, there is a huge demand from our students. They want case studies, latest case studies. Our already received material by the students are already discussing, and we have already presented some few case studies. But in recent years, and particularly this era of 24, this particular years, we have seen some raising issues in consumer perspective. We are buying goods and services from digital platform, and we are not getting the same product what we have ordered. Maybe so many reasons. What are the reasons? What are the laws are important for you when you are buying goods from this particular digital platform? That is the discussions, and this unit also explain the act and audience of the Government of India, which is giving protection to consumer, and most of you may not be aware about these laws. So focus of this unit is that, but what we are expecting from you, you see the whole structure of this unit what we have given to you after registration process, and also you receive the study materials. This is a structure process. This unit is discussing the basic learning objectives of these particular programs, and e-commerce. What is e-commerce? So focus for discussion will be those consumer or viewers, those who are not registered this particular program. They might not be having the economics and commerce or IT background, but they are not aware about these laws. So before that we realize, let us explain the basic conceptual framework about this topic, and that is e-commerce, and then we discuss the e-consumer support and services, what type of any platform, those who are selling the goods and services to you, what are the support services they are providing to you. Under that, this unit explain the email support and newspaper groups, chat rooms and messages, blogs and so on. So every this particular platforms also giving frequently asked questions and consumer service information and feedback or help desks. You might be having experiences as a consumer when you are buying a goods and services from this digital platform. But the issue is, when we are explaining this basic conceptual framework, our whole program is basically information security. So information security from the consumer perspective and information security from the business perspective is the basic objective of this particular programs, and in that we have given some consumers behavior, our own act and audiences, which we are explaining. At the end of this, we also explain the private policies and what are the term of references and services which all web pages or digital platforms are providing to you, and legal remedies. We highlighted the Consumer Protection Act 1986 and then Relief Act 1963 and 1930, that Sale of Goods Act. So at the end of this unit, we highlighted the basic learning objectives. So we also now come out the basic objective of this particular unit and discussion of this topic is that cyberspace represent e-marketplace. It has got e-shops, e-malls and selling all kinds of goods and services. If they are e-sellers, then there are also e-buyers as well. Yes, you may be having experiences while purchasing goods or services from these digital platforms, and these e-buyers, you may be e-buyers also well. These e-buyers buying goods and services on the internet should be treated as a consumer as defined under the Consumer Protection Act 1986. This digital era is providing the all sort of norms and regulations from the consumer perspectives, so that you should be aware. Government is also bringing out gazette notifications, amendment bills and laws on this particular hot discussions which is going on. So Government of India recent also started selling goods and services on e-platform, that is also e-marketplace we call GEM, and that is efficient, transparent and inclusive. That is the basic purpose for selling goods and services, including market, quality and cost. All these efficient measures has been taken. Now, what is the objective of this particular unit? As a learners, I expect from all of you, those who are viewing this program, some questions on this particular topic, and you may be appearing exams, but some of the basic conceptual framework which may not be clear, we try to explain in this session. So what is the expectation from this discussion is, first, after reading this unit or listening this program, you should be able to describe who is e-consumer, because we are not aware, we know when we are buying goods, what is the basic conceptual framework is e-consumer framework, and how the general profile of e-consumer is different from the offline consumer. In many ways, it is not only single ways, we will explain details, that is our expectation. After this unit, you will be able to explain. Then you will be able to explain the various kinds of support and services which is being provided to the e-consumer by the e-commerce service provider through various platforms, web pages or apps, and you will also explain the legal remedies and analyze whether the rights of e-consumers have been protected or not. That's very important, and real core of this discussion will be to your protections as a consumer. When you are buying a goods and services, you are not aware what are your rights. So e-sellers are selling goods and you are paying money. Sometimes you paid the money, but it has been, you have noticed experiences also, you have not get the goods the way you have ordered it, first. Secondly, you also paid money, but you have not get the goods and services for what orders you have given to you, and it's through different platforms. So what are the laws? What are the protections? And what are the legal remedies are there from the consumer perspective is the real issue of this content what we are discussing today. Now see, the first, let me explain what are the e-consumer and what are the e-consumer's profile. So as a e-consumer, I said just now, you may be also not only students, you will be also a role playing as e-consumer, and you are consumers who are buying, consuming or selling goods or services using digital medium and that is internet or any other electronic platform. It is not only internet, other electronic media form. You might be having these television programs, they are selling goods and or DTH services as well. So the digital mediums helps you as a consumer to place, buy or order on physical goods using e-commerce business model like business to consumer, consumer to business, and consumer to consumer. This three type of business e-model is going on, where I said this e-consumer is a part of e-commerce. We explain interestingly the term e-consumers nowadays include both e-commerce, electronic consumer, or mobile phone or mobile commerce, and that is also consumer. You are buying goods and services. Most of you buying goods from your mobiles and tabs, iPads, and different digital objectives you are using this. So this is e-consumer we explain. On the other side, e-consumer profile. The general profile of consumer is different from that of offline consumer in many ways. And e-consumer is you are urban and young, technology savvy, but here not only urban. Now these days, last couple of years, you might have noticed our buyers are not only from urban areas, our metropolitan areas, but semi-urban and rural areas as well. So this way we can say e-consumer is urban, young, technology savvy and educated, convenience shoppers and multiple choice oriented. It is not only the product you have seen the site or image and you are ordering, but multiple way you can verify that type of our e-business or e-consumer profile are ordering the goods and services in different platforms. So moreover, he is a smart, because e-consumer is smart and he knows where to look for discount on net as compared to physical world and ease of price. That cost advantage. You might be having a mobile phone order in one platforms and you same brand and same quality, you want to check the price of that particular brand or the object or that items which you want to buy, so different platforms. So that e-buyer is now having very sources where you can verify the quality and the cost that is possible. Now as compared to physical world, you can be not compare because you have to visit different places and different shops, different malls as per offline is concerned. So as a greater choices are the biggest plus points in favor of e-consumer. That is the plus points. And in this important compare a physical shopping experience with that of online shopping experience to underline the physical of e-consumer he wants, and that is not possible in our physical buying goods and services. You require time, you require resources, but in the advantage of this e-buyer is when you are buying the goods and services from this particular platform, you have an option to see the quality product that is also the same brand but the cost, and then you see the configurations of that particular item which you want to buy from this e-platform. Therefore, e-consumer and e-consumer profile is the difference which we have noticed just now. We also highlighted the comparison between physical and online shopping. That is also unit is discussing in detail with illustrations and example what we are discussing in this platform. You might be having this experience as a consumer. I am just again repeating what we are discussing here. So what a difference you see the two, physical shopping and online shopping. Physical shopping, you have supermarket and mall, you might be aware, and here websites and apps platforms you are using. But display window, here you have a home page and store layout where you have to go at different places and then you buy the goods and services in the case of physical shopping. In comparison to online shopping, you have a frames, browse and search functions, navigations and buttons. This basic concept. Then we will discussing your protection in law if you are very much aware about this function. In store promotions and sale discounts, that is there in physical stores, but here special offer and discounts is going on, that is 24/7 in different platform in different occasions. So number of branches here, that is supply chain in the case of physical shopping, but here linked to other similar sites or apps links that are provided. So look and touch of the merchandise here in physical market and look at feel the merchandise in the same cases because the different platforms are being, for instance, if you want to buy a mobile or any books or any materials that are available Amazon, in the same way you can see the different platforms that is Flipkart or other days Tata's web apps are also selling the goods and services and Jio also coming up. So these are the looks or differences basically physical shopping and online, but footfalls is that number of people getting the store, but here number of unique sites and visit the online stores. So that is the difference between these two major issue of platforms where as a consumer you are buying goods and services. But as a consumer, what topic which we are discussing here, your laws, your protections, whether it is offline or whether it is online. So what are the laws? What are the terms and references? What are the our legal responsibility when we are buying a goods and services? This should be very much aware. This unit further discuss this point, that is e-consumer support and services. So there we physical platform, we will not get this type of services. They offer on the spot what discounts or their own terms and references and support services. But here in a e-platform, e-consumer is a seek of information before the back by decisions. That is very important. And challenges is there. You have to collect product information and make comparison between the different product offering from different provider. I just highlighted the two different platforms, that is our Amazon's and Flipkart and others also. For example, price and product comparison have been made easier by the development of shopping boards. In other words, e-consumer are being assisted every step by technology, that I said AI and machine learning. And these days, and if you're buying a goods, and may I help you in the web page or any apps, and you see artificial intelligence or machine learning is giving you most important support services what you want. You want to want more designing of the product or cost of the product or quality of the product, or you want what time will be taken by the e-seller to provide you that particular goods what you have order. So these are the advantage. And for instance, example I have given here, shopping, Amazon, open source and style of view for products of all kinds of with while we still providing all the materials. So the company makes so many attempts but not allowing to audit any terms of lesson from the consumer perspective. But once posted, the review themselves are rated by other users. You might have noticed the rating of this particular product and easily you can see, but it is not possible in offline shopping places. So e-consumer support services also help in digital medium, one of the means to protect not only the organizations reputations, any company or brand which are selling their goods, but also provide an opportunity to redress the consumer complaints and grievances. If you have buy the TV or mobile and you are not getting services, you can easily post on your this digital platform, and that is also a very important reputations of a company who are selling the goods and services through this digital platform. So consumer services is concerned with a great concern by the e-consumer opportunity to talk on the organizations and receive personalized responses through rating or other purpose also. There are a number of different avenues through which you as a consumer and support can be delivered to you by the e-seller through email support or WhatsApp these days using, and news groups, chat rooms and message boards, blogs or FAQ and so on. These are the basic support services are being provided by the e-seller to you when you have ordered. But what are the basic issues what we are discussing here? The consumer beware. That is your laws, what we are the major focus before briefing you about the procedures. As a consumer, e-consumer, you have certain rights. What are the rights? It is obligatory to note that you have certain obligation as well. What are the obligation? It is expected that you as a consumer aware any failure to protect their interests would be considered to be his own filing. And you should be aware that in the digital medium, it is natural for the consumer to read the private policy and terms of services conditions and posted on e-tailer websites such as policy statement constitute online contracts between you and the service provider as an e-consumer or e-supplier. What are these? Private policy, let me give you the questions, and that is very important to everyone when they are buying goods and services from a digital platform. The private policies on websites or apps platform, details of a means of protecting and personal and non-personal information it provides, like for example, what kind of information to be collected through emails address, name, phone. This is a private data, and how the company will are collecting from you when you order these particular goods, and postal address, age, gender. These are the personal information. These are the private policy. You have to read that every e-seller's platform. What kind of technologies, tools will be used to collect information, AI or their own software being used. How the information thus collected will be used and for what purpose. That is very important as a consumer when you are buying the goods. And there are so many cases these days increasing. Your personal information is collected by the seller but are being used in other platforms. So these are, when you are buying a goods, you should read their particular platforms or apps or their web pages or the private policy, and whether information is to be given to any third party, for what purpose, that you should be clear, and whether a choice will be given to the individual opt out from collections and distribution of online information. Don't accept easily yes when you are buying a goods and services from these platforms, because when we are in a hurry we just see the discount and we immediately order. But before order you have to read what questions I raised here in this private policy. Now we are coming to this private policy further. What will be the business transactions consequences? Yes, UPI or credit card or item to be payment to be paid on receiving the goods, that is also option they are giving or not. You have to check, and then refuse to provide private information and refuse to accept cookies or has opted out particular use of such information I just said. So how individually you have identified private information to be collected, can be reviewed, and if necessary corrected or removed. You as a buyer to be very careful and note these questions what I raised here, which has been also explained with the example in the unit in your self-printing materials. So whether this site will be independently verified to ensure that its security adequately protect the consumer from the risk of security breaches. These are the cases increasing day by day, but you have to, when order, you have to verify. So private policy maybe exists in form of self-harbor agreement, that is terminology being used, which may provide for terms such as how frequent the privacy policy will be reviewed. And this is old, you buy the goods and services, but policy is old. But technology is changed. As I just said, AI has been entered in business platform and machine learning being used. So you have to see in the context of latest digital technical and technological advances in the context of bylaws. So whether this site will be independently verified to ensure that its security adequately protects its consumer from risks of security breaches. These are the case studies which we have given in this particular unit, and discuss latest cases also. One of the consumer buy the order these goods and through our apps, and they said they will give 40% discount, but when the order was given, payment was at the time of payment, the 40% discount was not there, it is 10% discount. But the private policy say before giving the order, yes, you have to read this private policy. 2. The quality product which you have ordered in your digital platform or sellers, and you see the same or not. In most cases, some of the cases they found that it is not there. But the private policies say we will not sure about the goods and services which you ordered, not responsible, but you have ordered it. But they have said that we have already explained in the private policy. So before going through the orders or any items, you have to see the term and conditions of that particular policy. Third, private policy may exist in the form of self-agreement which provide further notice to the consumer that data subject about which information is collected and processed and used. As I said, most of the companies are giving this. Our data will be having security only for use, only for this selling the goods. But they can say that we will provide this data for marketing purpose. You have to see before giving acceptance. 2. Choice covers the ability for consumers to opt out from direct marketing. You said I don't need. If you order something and they have their mobile numbers or your emails, frequently they are giving you WhatsApp marketing messages. But you said no straightforward when you are, if this is you are right, and that is choice they have given. Then onward transfer, for instance, you have given some order and choice for consumer about the way in which a third party could use their data. That is also very important. And data integrity, which we are debating in most of the social platform and used for among all citizens. Data integrity, data to be kept accurate, current and complete. That is not what you are giving information. They are not only using this for marketing purpose, other purpose as well, accurate data, whether because you are giving date of birth or price or residential address. That information they have already with these digital platforms when you are ordering. So these are the issues which unit has explained, and that enforcement also assuming compliance with data protections also ready available and affordable independent rescue mechanism by which consumer complaints and disputes can be solved. May I help you? Or they have given some toll-free numbers where you can register your immediately complaint, if any. And in the cases of the product, that they have given number. In the cases of your payment issues, they have different number in where window which you are using, for instance Paytm or Bheem or other UPI, PhonePe, etc. So security taking reasonable measure to protect data from loss and misuse, etc. Sometimes by mistake you paid more amount. The point is, when you pay the more amount, the price of that particular item was half of that particular price what you have paid. So what to do? So what is our policy says? What are the term and condition? They said when they sold out, the payment received, we are not responsible. Second company say no, we will refund you for extra account. That should be careful when ordering this particular order. We come out the term or references before coming to finalize the notice you have to issue, and that notice will be please review the site term of use when you are buying the goods, and which govern use you purchase of products and services from our website. By accessing, browsing or using the site, you may slightly use assent to these terms of use. If you do not agree to these terms of use, then please do not use this site. That is very, very important. They mention in this all vary from your e-platform to e-platform. Second, membership eligibility is also there. Some companies and some e-platforms are offering so many services, that is membership eligibility. You have to use of this site is available only to a person who can form legally binding contracts under applicable law. So a person who is incompetent to contract and within the meaning of the Indian Contract Act 1972 include minors and uncharged and insolvency etc. are not eligible to enter any executive financial transaction with this site. They have been mentioned everywhere. So these are the issues which we have explained, and website limited license we also discussed, and protecting password. Whenever using, you have to protect your password. User is responsible for maintaining the your confidentiality of the password and username, and fully responsible for all sub activity that acquire under this password. So we explain the main term and references, and you can study further in our units. And we come out the latest act remedies which Government of India notified recently 2020, that is also available, which highlighted your Protections Act. I'm sure you have enjoyed these particular sessions, and we explain latest notifications and informations also from our emails to all of you. If further query is there, please contact us at this, not only for this particular program, courses, other related content issues also at MSCIS at the .ignou.ac.in.